My husband's daughter called me and my son horrible names, and now his entire ex-wife's family is blowing up my phone, all because I asked him to use her college fund for my son's tuition. I, a 36-year-old female, have been married to my 57-year-old husband for 2 wonderful years. I have a son from a previous relationship, Noah, who is 18 years old, and my husband has a daughter from his previous marriage, Grace, who is 17 years old. My husband considers Noah his son in all but his name. Noah is an amazing student, high GPA, plays basketball and football, volunteers for charity, and is an all-around great person. Noah has recently received a likely letter from his dream school, and we are all ecstatic about it. My husband and I started talking about finances and how we are going to contribute towards tuition fees. I was a single mom until I got married, so I haven't got much saved, but my husband has mentioned the fund he's been collecting for college since his daughter was born. Now here's the part that I am asking if I'm the asshole for, but please read the rest of this post before making judgments. I do explain myself. I asked my husband if we could use that money for Noah. It's enough for all 4 years of his degree. He said no in the beginning, but I explained that while I love Grace, she isn't very academically inclined. Average GPA, no extracurriculars, and has even said that she's going to the community college close by for the first 2 years. Plus, she's a junior. We have a whole year to start building up another college fund for her. My husband is still on the fence, but at least he's not sticking with no. He wanted to talk to his daughter first and reiterate what I said above. It did not go well. He said there was screaming involved and included her calling my son and I names that I will not be repeating here, accusing him of cheating on her mother, which is completely false, and she knows it. We met 3 years ago, 7 months after his divorce. I've been getting a barrage of texts and voicemails from his ex-wife's side of the family calling me all sorts of names. My husband is disgusted with his daughter's words and actions and is pretty upset and down right now. I feel like I've caused this, but my mother, sister, and aunt are telling me that I did the right thing, that my son deserves that money. I burned every trace of my fiancé's late wife, her childhood photos, her antique horse collection, her letters, even the keepsakes he'd saved for his kids. And no one suspects a thing. I have been keeping this secret for a couple of months. I am a 26-year-old female and have been with my fiancé Ale, who is a 27-year-old male, for 2 years. But I've known him since I was a freshman in high school and he was a sophomore. He was with his deceased ex-wife Lorraine from middle school. I always kinda had feelings for Ale, even when I was in a relationship with my ex-boyfriend from high school, which ended, of course. Ale has 2 kids, Basil, 8-year-old male, and Birdie, 3-year-old female. I love those kids as my own and see them as my own. He was married to his deceased ex-wife Lorraine when she was 18 and he was 19. They had their son after they got married. Sadly, Lorraine passed away from childbirth with their daughter Birdie. I comforted him when he was grieving. After a year of her passing, we got into a relationship. He's the best partner I can ever ask for, and we are getting married this July. Birdie sees me as her mother, and Basil sees me more as an aunt than a mom. I was always Auntie Coco, but my real name is Celia. Basil has a picture of Allah, him, and Lorraine when she was 5 months pregnant with Birdie. He doesn't have a photo of us together as a family. He still misses his mom. I was a little jealous of Lorraine, especially during high school. Sometimes I wish I was the birth mother of Basil and Birdie. I wished I had his kids first, but Ale doesn't want any more kids genetically related to him. He told me he only wanted Lorraine to have his kids. He had a vasectomy. He told me he'd rather just adopt or I use a sperm donor, which makes me upset. I felt so insecure about all of it, thinking Lorraine is still in the way. All of Ale's friends knew Lorraine very well. They all grew up together, especially his best friend Jordan, who absolutely adored Lorraine. So did his wife Ruth, who was Lorraine's best friend. They are the godparents of Basil and Birdie, and they are around a lot. I, however, didn't know Lorraine that much, though she was nice to me. It felt fake though, so I wasn't really a big fan, but I respected her enough. I always felt like I was intruding in Al's beautiful family. One day, I was going through the attic and found a bunch of Lorraine's and Ale's belongings, photos from middle school up to before her passing, Ale's old gifts to Lorraine, and all sorts of keepsakes. Ale had kept these things for his kids, to give them when they were older, to treasure their mother's stuff. I also found a box filled with Lorraine's vintage and antique horse collection and gifts from friends and family. Ale planned on giving this collection and other things to Birdie someday. He had already given Birdie Lorraine's old stuffed zebra and given Basil an old knife that belonged to Lorraine's grandfather. All I know is, I wanted everything gone. When Ale took Basil and Bertie to Lorraine's parents' house for a few days, since I had to stay behind for work, I saw my moment. Fueled by jealousy and resentment, I took the knife, the stuffed zebra, all the photos of Lorraine, her antique horse collection, everything. I burned all the photos throughout the collection, destroyed what I could. I even cut open all the stuffed toys and letters she wrote. I was ruthless. Every single thing of hers was gone, and for the first time, I felt satisfied, knowing she wasn't in the way and there was nothing for me to be jealous of anymore. When LA and the kids came back, I acted normal. It only took a few days for them to notice. Basil couldn't find the photo with him and his mother, or the knife. He got worried and told Ale, which got him searching for the zebra, but it couldn't be found.
My brother smashed a birthday cake into the birthday boy's face, and my mom demanded it was everyone else's fault. For those who read my previous post about how my parents tried to cancel my 14th birthday, they knew very well what my brother was like during birthday parties that were not his own. And they tried to enable his behavior in any way they could just because he is high-functioning autistic. Well, that rampant spoiling did not go well with people outside of the family. Like at all. This happened, I think, when my brother was around 6 or 7 years old. A neighbor boy down the street was having his birthday party, and my brother got invited because they were sort of friends. But probably because they knew my parents would bring a gift. And they did. I do not remember what it was, though, nor do I really care. My parents dragged me along to this party, even though I would have rather stayed home and played video games. I was bored and sitting down almost the entire time, so I got to witness pretty much the whole situation. It started when my brother was caught picking up gifts off the table and shaking them. The mother of the birthday boy told him to stop, and my parents tried to defend my brother and say he was harmless. But the lady knew what my brother was really like and had my parents move him away from the presents. There were some games that the kids were playing. I do not remember what they were, but I do remember my brother tried to be the center of attention as much as possible. With each game, the birthday boy got first pick or turn on them all because it was his birthday. But my brother freaked out because he did not get to be first, and my parents did ask the birthday boy's mother if my brother could get the first picks or turns. The lady not only refused, but told my parents to get my brother under control or we would all be asked to leave. Then came time for the cake. The mother lit the candles for the birthday boy and the adults started singing the happy birthday song. They only got as far as singing the birthday boy's name in the song before my brother burst into a tantrum at the table. He grabbed the side of the table and started trying to violently shake it. My parents had to hold my brother back for a moment, and then I saw my mother go up and talk to the mother of the birthday boy again about something. And the poor lady looked positively disgusted, and I learned later that she had asked her to let my brother blow out the candles first, and then they could redo it. The lady told my mother that it would be best if we left, and then they went back to trying to redo the birthday song. Well, my brother could not take it, and ran to the table and shoved the whole cake right at the birthday boy. I mean, he used his arm to literally clothesline the cake and heave it right into that poor kid's face. The whole room was silent for a few seconds, and then a bunch of the kids started laughing. Then the birthday boy started crying, and the adults were all mortified. Except for my parents. My mother just started hugging my brother tightly and acting like a Karen by saying this could have been prevented if they had just let my brother blow out the candles first. The mother of the birthday boy was cleaning up chocolate cake off her son and screamed at my parents to get out. The other kids there started crying because it had finally hit them that now there was no cake. My mother started dragging my brother out, but he broke free of her and then pushed over the table with all the presents on it. I grabbed him and held him in a headlock till my parents grabbed him. I apologized profusely to the mother of the birthday boy and said I was not on my parents' side in the matter. Yeah, that is right. Little 12-year-old me had to apologize for my own parents. My dad yelled to me to get moving or I could walk home. I said I would walk home. It was literally a quarter mile down the street. I stayed and helped clean up the mess my brother made. The lady thanked me and said that I was a good egg. But my brother was just rotten.
My sister kicked my dog, and now the whole family is blowing up at me for kicking her out with her newborn. So, my sister, a 32-year-old female, just had a baby and needed a place to stay for a few months. I agreed, because, family. The only issue? I have a golden retriever, Max, who is my baby. He's well-groomed, trained, and literally the sweetest dog ever. From the second she moved in, she started making snide comments about how dirty he is, saying things like, "Dogs don't belong inside, especially near a newborn," and "He's covered in germs. I don't want my baby getting sick." She'd even ask if I could lock him in a room when we're in the living room. I tried to compromise by keeping him out of the nursery, but that wasn't enough. She wanted me to keep him out of the house entirely. She even went as far as spraying disinfectant on my couch where he sleeps. The final straw? I caught her kicking Max away with her foot when he came near the baby's playmate. I lost it. I told her if she has such a problem with my dirty dog, she can find another place to stay. She freaked out, called me heartless for prioritizing a dog over her and the baby, and left crying. Now, my parents are furious, saying I should have been more accommodating. They are gone now. I gave her 24 hours to leave. When I said she kicked Max, I didn't mean a little nudge. I meant she kicked him hard. So, am I the asshole for kicking my sister out over this?
My boyfriend's parents told me not to come over anymore because I kept bringing them small gifts. Even though I am a 23-year-old female American, my parents are immigrants, and therefore I have a different cultural upbringing than most. One thing that was hammered into my head from a young age was to always bring a small gift when visiting anyone's house. It doesn't matter if it is family or friends or that one person you kind of know but do not really like. Bringing something is a must. My boyfriend, who is a 28-year-old male, and I've been dating for almost 4 years now. Since we both work from home, he suggested we make dinner with his parents a weekly thing since we have not been able to see each other much for obvious reasons. I love his parents, so obviously I agreed. Every week I made sure to bring something small to show my appreciation for them cooking for us, always using my own money, a small bottle of wine, their favorite dessert, some flowers, etc. They always thank me for it. This has been going on for a few months, and I absolutely did not notice anything out of the ordinary until yesterday when my boyfriend and I were preparing to hit over. I had gotten a cute vase of daffodils since I was lucky enough to find some in bloom, and my boyfriend's mom really loves them. But my boyfriend suddenly got really mad and asked why I kept bringing stuff over every week like his parents were a charity case. Honestly, I got super confused and asked him what the problem was, and that I've always done this with everyone, including his friends, since we met. That it was a cultural thing. But then he got even madder and told me to stop imposing my culture on everyone and said it's weird since I am white. At that point, I didn't feel like going anywhere with him and just gave him the flowers, then went for a walk while he drove over to dinner by himself. After he came home, he still had the flowers, which he gave to me, and told me he was sorry, but his parents really were super annoyed with me constantly bringing stuff over like they can't take care of themselves, and later on, I got a text from his dad asking me to not come over for dinner anymore. Now, my boyfriend's giving me the cold shoulder unless I give his parents a huge apology, but I really, truly don't feel like I'm in the wrong for trying to be nice to them. Am I the asshole?